How's it going, boys? Josh here, and we're back with another NHL 19 Shootout commentary. And today I'm going to be using the San Jose Sharks. I want to talk about Erik Karlsson, the deal he just signed, and what you guys can do to get back to the Stanley Cup final. 8 years at over $11 million a season. Now the second highest paid player in the entire league and the richest defenseman of all time. Based. Fitting that was a super Swede. Speak of the man of the hour himself. Let's start off with Datsuk. Here we go. Here we go. Pull him in. Woo-hoo-hoo! There it is. Oh, excuse me. Datsuk starting it off. Based. Some light, you know. Some light start off. Nothing too heavy. You never want to go all in on the first meal. Nice little 7-course dinner. What do you got? What do you got? Ah. Quick mitts in tight. Got me. Yeah, slowed me down. All right. Two can play at that game. Who do I have up next? If I get a lefty, I'm gonna go for the quick backhand forehand. Yeah. Here we go. Backhand forehand, right over his pad. Backhand forehand, up and over, baby. You gotta be lined up. You gotta be deeper than that. If you're that far out, boom, piece of cake. Now the Sharks, I want to talk about them after it's over, but real quick. You guys have to make changes, right, Sharks fans? I mean, yeah, you made it to the conference final, but were you really that close? You went 7 games with basically a one-line team. You got lucky in Game 7. I mean, that power play was lethal, and the comeback was fantastic, but you got lucky against Vegas. So you could argue you could have been a first-round exit team. You barely beat an overachieving Avalanche. And then the Blues probably should have been a 5-game series. I feel like changes need to be made, and obviously you can't trade the core. Jones has to stay. Burns has to stay. Karlsson's obviously staying. Couture, big piece. Meyer, huge playoff performer. He has to stay. Why not Vlasic? Get rid of Vlasic. I mean, I know the guy isn't flashy, but he did not impress me these playoffs. I know he's not supposed to play that kind of game where it's all about the flash. Hold on, I'm going to let this guy score. But didn't McKinnon have like a 6-game point streak, right? If I'm paying a man $7 million to be a shutdown guy and their top players are still performing, he's not doing his job. It's like Erik Karlsson. If he goes out and has 60-point seasons, which is pretty good, that's not what I'm paying him for. I'm paying him to have Norris caliber seasons every year. One-handed to end it. Oh, that angle is garbage. Ugh. Took a terrible one on that. Kind of like Evander Kane's legal issues. Seems to got those figured out. Oh yeah, what do you got? Super Swede. Nah. I know the backhand forehand cheese now, buddy. You're not getting me on that. Just don't overcommit to one side or the other. Play deep in your crease, and you stop him every time. The captain, Lil Joe. You guys got to re-sign this guy as well. Hopefully he's willing to take a pay cut. If not, you could be in some serious cap trouble. Fake shot. Stay on the forehand. Yep. Lil Joe seals it up. All right. So the way I see it, you have to trade one of your defensemen. I think it's either got to be Brendan Dillon or Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Dillon just to free up cap space so you can re-sign some forwards. But you already have 2 of the top 5 defensemen in the NHL. Do you really need a third in Vlasic? I know he's a shutdown guy. But like I said before, he didn't really do anything that noteworthy in the playoffs. I mean, if you're paying him to be a shutdown guy, he should be shutting down the opposition. It's $7 million. That's what you want from him. But McKinnon was still able to perform against him. The Blues, he didn't have any success with their top 6 after game 2, I want to say. You have a little over $13 million to re-sign Joe Thornton, Joe Pavelski, Timo Meier, Kevin Labanc, Nyquist, Don Skoy, and others. Meier, Pavelski, and Thornton all combined are going to be at least $10 million. So that leaves you $3 million to re-sign about 5 other players who you need. Cap space has to be moved. And the way I see it, Vlasic is the easiest guy to go. Now, It doesn't have to be Vlasic, but I mean, who else are you? He's already 32 years old, and he's making $7 million a season for the next 7 years. That contract is looking worse and worse by the year. He's not getting any younger. I don't think he had a good playoff run. You guys have tried this core for a while now. It has not worked. Change it up. You're going all in anyway. Change it up. Even just this little change could be so huge. You're going to need to roll 4 lines in the playoffs. We've seen how important that is. You can't roll 4 lines if you don't have the forward depth to do so. And you don't have the cap space to re-sign half your bottom 6. Trade Vlasic. That will free up so much cap space. You don't have to get back you could lose the trade. But it's like addition by subtraction, because you'll have the cap space to go out and sign maybe a good 4th line center, help with the face-offs. You'll be able to re-sign the players already in your system. And Vlasic, I feel, won't be too hard to replace. You can run Karlsson and Burns huge minutes. You did in the playoffs anyway. You'll have a fully healthy Karlsson heading in the playoffs next season. The way I see it, you only need those top 2. I mean, ideally, you want Vlasic as well, but if you have to pick someone out of their current group to go, it's probably Vlasic. The Sharks' forward depth is their biggest strength. So if you're not going to be, you got to play to your identity, you know? So you can't have Karlsson, Burns, and Vlasic and say, oh yeah, we're a deep defensive team. That didn't work. Playing defensively did not work. This is an offensive powerhouse dynamo. You guys have the most lethal power play in the NHL. I don't care about the percentage. That power play, when they hit the ice, always has a chance to score. Win by scoring more goals. Don't win by not letting the opponent score. The best offense is a good defense. Trade Vlasic, get some forward depth, and I think you guys will be back in the Cup final this year, as much as it pains me to say it as a Ducks fan. But let me know what you guys think, and I will see you boys in the next one.